to this happy place, welcome.
Hey guys, this is Tim, and I'm with my wonderful, beautiful wife.
Who are you with?
Adrienne.
It's me.
And we're back. We're back. From where?
The Grand Canyon.
Yeah, that's right. We were going to Grand Canyon.
We went to the Grand Canyon.
And then expecting Disneyland, but no, I'm kidding. We went to Disneyland.
We did.
I'm really tired.
We're so tired.
We're so tired. That was such an exhausting trip.
So tired.
And we've gone, this length before.
We have.
But this was just different. It was so different.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I was looking back because, we share the Instagram account and we don't always know when each other's posting or doing a story.
Yeah.
So from our stories yesterday, we just both kept talking about how tired we were. But it's true. So we went with a group. We had, including Georgia, we had 12. I say including Georgia just because she's, under 2 and can't do a lot. So you might not count her, but.
She gets them for free.
Yeah. And one in our group had never been to Disneyland. Mm-hmm. So we were just really, and the others hadn't been in
almost 10 years.
About 10 years.
Yeah.
So, especially the one who had never been, our friend who'd never been, we really wanted to show him, we wanted to start out good. And typically with the young kids, we go slower. Mm-hmm. A lot of times, most times, I'd say, I'm going to keep yawning through this. Especially our days in Disneyland, we'll go back to the hotel and take a break in the middle of the day, let her take a nap or whatever baby we have. And just go kind of slower. We don't stay super late. But because most of our group was only doing one day in each park, we wanted to get to all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And so we were going hard and staying later than we normally do, which I love staying in the park late. I love staying until it closes. We just don't because of the kids. And we know okay, if we push them too hard, it's going to be miserable and we're going to be, paying for it the next day.
So when we did the preview, all the kids were sick. Or just
the preview. Oh, last week.
Last week. We recorded early. I think we recorded Friday night or was it Saturday night? I don't remember.
I think it was Saturday.
Okay, maybe it was Saturday. And the kids were sick, getting over it. They were pretty much done over with it. And we hadn't gotten it yet, but we felt like we were fighting it. And we were like, watch, we're going to wake up Sunday morning and we're going to be sick. But we woke up Sunday morning.
We're fine.
Felt fine.
Felt
Felt great. We started driving and we're doing good. No,
as soon as we left the house, I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding? I just didn't say anything until we got to LA. I was like, it's hitting me.
But for me, we got to the Airbnb and my throat is sore. And I'm starting to feel like poop. And we woke up Monday morning, first day, and we were both not visibly.
We weren't sick. It was just really strong fighting it. As soon as we
coughing or blowing our nose, we didn't sound stuffy.
It was just I could feel it, pressure in my face.
Yeah.
And I had no energy.
Yeah.
So, first night anywhere, I never sleep good.
We slept horrible.
I always sleep horrible. Ugh. And I slept horrible. And was waking up really early because we were staying in an Airbnb. And so we were driving in, having to park in the parking garage and then take the tram. All of that takes longer than when we usually stay at a hotel within walking distance.
Yeah.
It's a lot more complicated. You know, I got to get all the kids in the car, get out of the car in the parking garage, load up the stroller and everything, take apart the stroller after security to get onto the tram, then get off the tram, get the stroller loaded back. Like, it was a lot.
It was a lot.
I don't want to do it again. We'll get into that. But so we get in. We're wanting to get in early because we want our friends to have full days, you know, and
wait, let's pause for a second.
Okay.
Should we just like start from the beginning? I know you're skipping ahead, but
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
You're right. 7 a.m.
So no, but let's talk about like the Airbnb. So like what we did differently than what we usually did. So usually
back it up.
We stay at a Disney hotel.
Or a good neighbor, but we've been able to catch some good deals the last couple, since COVID. I think we've stayed at a Disney hotel because we've been able to catch.
Yeah. And so, you know, we're in the Disney bubble and we walk through security, walk through downtown Disney. We're in within 10, 15 minutes from leaving our hotel, give or take.
Yeah, maybe sometimes 20. The kids are slower. I'll get into this later, but I did from Paradise Pier to the gate in 9 minutes. I'll get into that story later.
Yeah, that might be for another day.
That's another podcast.
That might be part 2. But yeah, so this time, since we had 12 of us and we were trying to think of a way, like, do we want to get like a 2-bedroom suite at Disneyland Hotel or Paradise Pier? Because we want to all stay together because it makes it a lot more fun, a lot easier. But that was crazy expensive.
Yeah.
So,
because we were also trying to think, okay, like we're trying to convince these people that don't normally go to get Genie Plus. Because if we don't, and we're trying to get everyone on the main exciting rides, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So we're trying to convince these people to get Genie Plus. How am I going to do that? We want to get Mickey and Minnie, so we want to get there early. If our family of 6 stays at a Disney hotel and they don't, we can do Magic Hour, and they can't, but we don't really want to do that. Like, it was like more complicated.
Yeah.
If we stayed separately, it was just, it made more sense to stay together with what we wanted to get done.
Yeah. So we found a good deal on an Airbnb.
It really was. Trade.
You split it up 12 ways. I mean, it was the cheapest hotel we've ever stayed at.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was only,
and it was nice. I mean, it was nice.
It was a nice house.
It was only like a 5-minute drive from Disneyland.
Yeah.
You could see.
You could see the fireworks from the house. You could see the
fireworks, and you could like see the Ferris wheel. You know, so, and it was big. It fit us all. Like, it was, you know,
yeah, it was a nice place. It was just, you have to drive every day.
Now, if you don't have young children, we are the only ones with children in this group. And it was definitely easier for everybody else.
Oh, for sure.
You know, so if you are going with a group without young children, then, you know, it might not be as difficult. For you and I, it was exhausting with the stroller and the kids, and then them being asleep at night and having to get them on the tram, and then they fall asleep on the tram. And then, so if you don't have young children, then, you know, it would be a lot easier. But I would recommend, if you have young children, to stay within walking distance, definitely. Yeah.
So stayed at Airbnb. We wake up, or we're sick. We don't feel good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say we're sick. We're not snotty nose. We're not coughing.
We were just full on fighting it.
Yeah. Enough to where like our throats are sore and we have no energy, and we're getting up early and having to get going, and at the same time trying not to look and feel like we don't feel good.
Like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm great.
Yeah. Just
because I was so irritated just because I have been looking forward to this for so long. And our last trip in the summer was just ended up being kind of stressful for me. And I just really wanted this one to be just good and fun. I just wanted to have fun.
Good thing it only lasted, like a day and a half that we didn't really feel good. First 2 days, or
we're different people.
I know we're different. For me, by we got Monday, we weren't feeling good. By Tuesday afternoon, I was starting to feel normal again. But
yeah, pretty much. Well, and I went up and down through the day.
Yeah,
like I'd eat and I'd feel better.
Yeah,
and then a little while later, I would just be like, not normal Disney dragging, like just like can't push myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't. It could have been way worse. It could have been way worse.
Yeah.
Like I was able to rally. I was able to be like, okay, get some food and get some energy. And but there were definite parts where I was like, oh, dang it, this is so irritating. I know. But yeah. But so Monday morning we really wanted to get Mickey and Minnie's. So we were up super early. You set an alarm for a little before 7 and you were all ready. We were leaving. We wanted to leave the Airbnb at 7:15.
Yep.
We had no idea how the parking garage would be. Like I've seen, posts and heard things about long lines in the morning to get into the parking garage. And I was like, oh my gosh, is it going to take us 30 minutes to park? I had no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
Anytime we have gone in the parking garage has always been on our way home from, somewhere else down south, and we'll stop by Disneyland,
on the way.
Stop in downtown Disney or whatever in the afternoon. So I didn't know how it was in the morning. But so we wanted to leave at 7:15, but we were okay with not rope dropping. But we wanted to still get there early. But yeah, so you did we talked about it a couple weeks ago for tips for getting Mickey and Minnie's. Honestly, I don't feel well, that's not true. I do feel like you need the tips, but it was not difficult. No. You did the worldclock.gov or whatever on my phone.
So I used 2 phones. I had my phone, which I was using to get the virtual queue on the Disneyland app. I had another phone, which was yours, on time.gov, which is the world official.
On time or time? Because you said on time.
Time.gov.
Okay.
Is the website.
And you had already had our entire group's tickets loaded onto your app.
Yep. So I had 11 tickets loaded on my app. I had everybody's. I was a designated Genie Pluser. And so I was making all the arrangements for everybody. So I had it all there. And then I was watching countdown about 1 second before 7 a.m. I hit refresh on the app. And by the time it refreshed, it said join virtual queue. You tap that quickly. And then it gave me boarding number.
Yeah. You got group 33.
Group 33.
So we were early, in the group.
Yeah, I forget what
relatively
time.
Early.
What time was it?
It was
It was in the morning.
It was in the morning. I have pictures, so I'm just looking. We walked into Toontown at 10:08. So
Okay.
it was
within a couple hours.
It was about 10. It was about 10 because we were in line actually
for Dumbo.
Yeah,
but we can get to that.
Yeah, we're skipping all over.
So we get there. Oh gosh, I'm thinking about the parking garage and the tram and how stressful that was.
It's not stressful. It's a little hectic.
It's a lot.
It's hectic if you have young children. Again, if it would have just been me and you or the rest of our group that didn't have children, it's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Security. And
you just have a backpack. There's no problem.
Yeah. You get on the tram, you're good.
So really this is for families with young children with strollers. It's a bit of a pain.
And I was so frustrated at our stroller when I was trying to fold it.
Well, I think it was because one of the bubble blowers was stuck.
I was like, why is this not folding? It's not folding. It was halfway folded, and I was like, I was trying to force it, and I was like,
you probably broke the Mickey.
No, it was the old one. The Mickey one was already broken.
Oh.
And I was like, forget it. I'm just gonna leave it. half
it was
folded and trying to get on. Things are falling out. And we get there like, oh, there's a bubble blower in the bottom basket that's propping it up.
Stuck. Yeah.
So, but anyways.
But the parking did not take a long time. I'd say
5 minutes. Wait in line for
probably
like
5 minutes to get in, and then another, maybe 5 minutes to park because you're driving, weaving all the way through to where they're taking you. Security's pretty short. They have tons of security tables at the parking garages. So it's, you don't have to go through it again. And
one thing, because we parked at the Mickey and Friends parking structure, and the new Pixar Pals parking structure is connected to that. So there's the Pixar Pals, which is new, and then the Mickey and Friends, which was the existing one. And I was thinking, let's go park at the Pixar one because it's newer. It's, it's slightly closer. And so I went there thinking I was just going to drive into there and park in there, but it's closed, or it's not closed. The entrance to it's closed. They make you park starting in the Mickey and Friends parking structure. And then since those two are connected, you drive through it and eventually will park in the Pixar
Yeah,
Piers.
it's like overflow.
Yeah. So that took a little bit extra time because we went to Pixar Pals, which is on the way to Disneyland Hotel. The entrance to that was closed, so we had to go around the block and go to Mickey and Friends. So start at Mickey and Friends, and then they'll work your way through.
Yeah.
But
so we ended up leaving probably like 7:20, the Airbnb.
Took us about 10 minutes.
Yeah, because we had to go. It took us a little longer because we went, like you said, we went to the one parking garage first, and then we had to reroute. But we were off of the tram, walking into the line by like 8:05.
Oh, nice.
So about 40 minutes that it took from leaving the house to getting to basically the gate.
Yeah.
So not bad, longer than if we were walking. But that first morning was more hectic. The next morning was a much quicker. I feel like
knew what to expect.
Our stuff was already in the car, and we knew what parking garage to go to first. So we got into the park. It was like 8:15, 8:20 that we got into the park. Got everyone set up with Genie Plus, and then we wanted to start our friend that had never been. We wanted to start him off.
Start off with a bang.
He tends to be skeptic about things, skeptical, critical.
Critical about everything. No, not everything. He's a good guy. Yeah. We like
it. So we just were like, okay, what could we take him on that is going to be like a good impression? His wife has been several times, loves it all. So, I was like, okay, I think Space Mountain. And she was like, yes, it's one of her favorites. We were like, okay, let's start him off with that. So that's where we went. And we didn't even we all got Genie Plus, but we didn't even need to because it was 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
It was 15 minutes. We got there and went up to 20 by the time we walked up.
1-5.
Yeah, 15.
So we got a rider swap for Georgia, and then Noah, our son Noah, our almost 10-year-old that does not like Space Mountain. So, did rider swap, and the second group gets to go on Space Mountain. Most rides, the rider swap, the second group, you can have 3 people in the second group, and normally go through the lightning lane. But on Space Mountain, they have you go through the exit.
Yeah.
Which is great because you walk right on.
Yeah.
You don't wait in line at all.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that was good. That's when I was dragging. After Space Mountain, I was like, or during, like when I was waiting, and then on Space Mountain and right after, I was like, oh, are you kidding me? Like, I feel like poop. But I'd also had like no sleep the night before.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then while you guys all went on, then after that, you guys all went on Star Tours, and I was okay with sitting out on that. So I just waited with Gigi, and I got the strawberry filled croissant from Jolly Holiday. I had seen, is it Fun Food Disney Fun? I can't remember her IG handle page name, but she had posted about it, and I wanted it. So I mobile ordered that, and it's super good. Super good. Strawberry filled croissant. It has like a cream custardy in there with strawberries, but I heard that you need to mobile order it before 10 a.m. because they sell out. So I saw that it was like a little after 9, and I was like, I want that. And I was dragging, so I got that. But anyway, so
Disney Food Fun.
Yes. So she posted about it. So anyway, so yeah, so then like, I mean, we don't need to do a play-by-play by any means. We did stuff. It was fun, but we were in, as far as Mickey and Minnie's goes. So we had that. We decided to do Dumbo because we knew that it was, you could tell on your app, you'll see on the app what boarding groups they're calling. Mm-hmm. And so you can kind of gauge, oh, mine's going to be soon. So we didn't want to do anything too long or too far away. You have an hour from the time that they call your boarding group. So we were going to do Dumbo. And while we were in line for Dumbo, it was like 20 minutes. But it felt a lot longer than that. I think it went up after that because I was looking at the line. I'm like, this is not going to be 20 minutes.
It was going down by Casey Jr. train, like zigzagging.
Yeah.
There.
And I was like, this is not 20 minutes. And we got called.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, we can do Dumbo later, which we never did.
We never did Dumbo.
We never did Dumbo later. But we can't do Mickey and Minnie's again. Like if this takes longer, like, you know. So we got out of line and we went and did Mickey and Minnie's. And so I didn't do it the second time, spoiler alert, we wrote it another day. But so we got there, it was 10:11. Mm-hmm. We got on the ride. Oh shoot. Okay. Oh poop. I thought I had.
I have it.
Okay.
10:48 we are on the ride. So 10:11 to 10:48, so about 30 minutes.
Yeah, 35 minutes.
Yeah.
But the queue is super fun.
Yeah.
There's posters everywhere. There's interactive. Well, I don't say interactive, but
there's stuff to look at.
There's stuff to look at. It is a really cool queue, like one of the best. And it's all new, so we hadn't seen it before. But it wasn't bad. Mm-hmm. Like you keep moving for the most part, pause for a little bit, but you're moving pretty good, and just tons of, history of Mickey and the different cartoons, Mickey Mouse cartoons and shows. They had a poster from Mousercise, if any of you children of the late 80s, early 90s remember that when you were tiny. I do. I had a mini leotard and I would do my Mousercise in the morning while my siblings were at school. So yeah, just some cool stuff. They had like a full size Mouse Gadeur from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Yeah.
And then the ride, is super fun. I don't think it's different than Disney World.
No, it's the exact
We had heard
same.
that it was a little different, like that they had a few extra scenes, but I don't think it is.
No, it was the exact same.
But super fun.
Yeah. And, I've been looking at people's reactions to the ride, and, Disney really hyped it up. And a lot of people felt like they were let down from it. I don't feel the same because it's, you're not going to be, you shouldn't go in expecting something like Rise of the Resistance, which is,
right,
a big thrill ride.
Because also you have to think about this. Any ride you ride, like Mickey and Minnie's doesn't have a height requirement. Mm-hmm. I can take Georgia on it. I could take a 10-week-old on it.
Yeah.
So just think about that. If it doesn't have a height requirement, there's not going to be any drops or spins or, I don't want to say spins. There's a little bit of a spin, but like nothing crazy because you can take a baby on it.
Yeah. I mean, it has some, it's not a slow, it's not like Snow White.
It's not, or Small World or like
Peter Pan or anything like that.
There's more to it than that.
There's quick, there's some jerkiness, there's some wind, some wind.
It is loud.
Yeah.
So if you or any of your kids are sensitive to sound, either maybe skip it or wear like the noise canceling headphones.
Yeah.
I feel like even with the noise canceling, you'd probably still be able to hear it.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot. It's busy and
there's a lot of stuff going on.
Loud.
Yeah. But for a family, if you're looking for a ride that everyone can do together,
yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
I saw some people were saying, "Oh, it's boring. It's not worth the hype," and I think it's just they're going in with the wrong, expectation and perspective. But as far as like the version to prefer, Disneyland or Disney World, I mean, the ride itself is the exact same, but I think the theming and the queue is better at Disneyland.
Yes.
Because it just makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because it's inside Toontown.
Right.
It's in the El Capitan Theater.
Yeah. They had a better place to put it in Disneyland than in Disney World where they're trying to fit it in. And I don't know, because we had a lightning lane for it. It was when we went last year, a year ago, tomorrow.
We're almost come up the
today.
1 year anniversary
today.
of our podcast.
Yeah, we are. But it was a year ago today that we were in Hollywood Studios and rode Mickey and Minnie's for the first time. So it was an individual lightning lane. I don't know if they had the individual lightning lane go through a separate queue. There was nothing. I don't remember any posters. We walked into this room that was had red and purple.
Yeah.
And then they took us to this other room and then we got on the ride. I don't remember any.
Well, we missed, because I remember we walked through, it looked like a theater that had a hole cut out of it.
Spoil anything.
And I'm like, well, this is weird. Did we miss something, or is this just how this room looks? And then after going on it in Disneyland, I think because we were a lightning lane, we were one of the last of that group. And so we missed the pre-show.
Yeah, maybe.
And
but still,
so
in
we
Disneyland, they wouldn't put you in that room. It was just weird. Yeah. In Disney World. And so I don't know what was going on that day, or the time that we got on it, but the queue in Disneyland is really cool. And as far as the lightning lane goes, we had no problem getting it.
Virtual queue.
Yes, that's what I meant. The virtual queue. We
lightning
didn't have
lane. You have to purchase.
You can purchase a lightning lane for it. But we did not do that. We got the virtual queue, which is free. And we didn't have a hard time getting it. And like I said, you did that. We got one in the morning. You can only get one per day. So, we didn't go on it again that day. But yeah, it's fun. It's not a roller coaster, but it's also not Small World. But it's fun. It's fun. So yeah, I mean, and that day, the group, we stayed together. We had a large group, but we stayed together pretty much the whole day. We would have to separate to do, rider swap things. So we went to Galaxy's Edge. You guys all stayed. We didn't buy an individual lightning lane. You guys waited an hour. I think Rise went down to 55. So we're all right, we might not get it better than that.
It's going to be, yeah.
And so, most of the group waited. Two stayed out with me, and Georgia was asleep. And so we walked around, we got a snack, we did some shopping. For us, the time, they were this is way better. We get to go through the lightning lane after this. I was yeah. They're yeah, I'll wait out, because we didn't have to stand in line. We went and did other things.
Yeah.
And, because it was such a long wait, we didn't have to just like sit outside the ride and wait.
Yeah, you can
like
go
sometimes
do
if the
other
wait
stuff.
isn't that long, you don't have time to go do other stuff, but we had an hour.
Yeah.
So,
well, the idea is exactly that, you know, especially if you have a smaller group and you could go like half and half, you know, we had a large group. And so it was like 8 went on the ride and, you know, 3
right.
stayed
Well,
back.
with rider swap.
With
rider swap, you can only have 3 stay out and go into the second group. Rides that we got a lightning lane for that Georgia can't ride, like Splash Mountain, we didn't do rider swap. Everyone had a lightning lane. We just had to go 2 separate times.
Yeah.
So we would split, then we would do like 5 and 6, you know, and we'd split the group in half that way. But with a rider swap, so we didn't have a lightning lane, so we had to use rider swap. Then only 3 people can go in the second group. But yeah, we walked right in when we did the lightning lane for it.
I know. When you said you already got to the part with Ray, I'm like, oh my gosh.
We walked right into it.
Yeah,
like we didn't even stop.
It took us a while.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys waited a while.
Yeah.
And, but for us, it was fine. We got a snack and we did some shopping while Georgia napped. And, so yeah, so, you know, and then we did Splash Mountain, the same thing. Or no, actually we did Splash Mountain first after lunch. No.
Oh, I will say after Rise, I got the cold brew black calf.
Oh my goodness.
Cold brew black calf. Whatever the iced coffee at Galaxy's Edge at
brew black calf?
Something like that at Docking Bay 7.
Get it.
It is amazing.
So we had seen this for the last year and a half,
yeah.
right? And we'd go and by the time we'd get over there, it would be the afternoon. And you'd be like, no, I don't really want any more coffee. I shouldn't have more coffee. And we just haven't got it. So while I was on Rise, the second group, and then we were going to do Smugglers. No, it was Smugglers. It was Smugglers. It was while the first group was on Smugglers.
I waited out on Smugglers.
You waited out and you went and got that. And then when I got off of Smugglers, you were like, try this. And I wasn't expecting to like it because I'm not a big fan of cold brew. It's usually a very strong coffee taste. And I like a little bit of coffee with my cream. But it was so good.
And I thought I wouldn't be crazy about it because the cream that they use is sweet cream cheese. And so when I think about that, it's like cream cheese and coffee. That doesn't sound that good. It's amazing.
It's so good. It's so good.
Once you mix it up, I mean, because it's thick, you got to mix it up.
Yeah.
It makes it super creamy. And it's
like the perfect amount of sweetness.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So get it. Highly recommend. I don't know how many people stop me.
Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah.
Like, where did you get that?
Where did you get that?
Where is that?
Yeah.
I've heard about this. Where is this?
Yeah. It's so good. Well, and Docking Bay 7 is weird. Like, because then a couple days later, we had lunch there. You went in and you text me where you were, and I was meeting up with you, or that you got a table in there, and I didn't know where the door was. It's like, it looks almost hidden. Like you could easily pass that.
It's a sliding door. Yeah.
But it's like the same color as the wall.
Yeah.
The only reason I knew that it was not a prop, because there's doors all over Galaxy's Edge that aren't real, is because there's a cast member standing outside of there. And I was like, I think. And then when you look really closely in like the Star Wars font, it says like sliding door. And I'm like, oh, okay, that must open. Like, you could easily pass that.
Yeah.
So before that, we had done Splash Mountain and Boston got drenched.
Was he in the front row?
I don't have the picture. I only have our picture because he was in the first group. He wasn't in the group with me and you. I'm assuming he was, but I don't know. Because then another friend that was with him, she got soaked too. I'm just looking at the pictures of them. They're soaked. And I was so worried he was going to flip out and throw a fit and be all mean because he was angry. He didn't want me to take a picture of him.
Yeah.
But he was okay because then when the second group, when we were going, he was like, I want to go again. And I was like, you do? Like he couldn't because he used his lightning lane. But he was soaked. And then when we went, Noah was in the front and he got soaked. He was not as good of a sport about it.
No, he was upset.
He was pretty, when I heard him, and I heard that drop in the dark. That's the one. It's not the big drop.
No.
It is not the big drop. The big drop gets you a bit, but it is the drop in the dark.
Yep.
That one gets you. It's when you come off of that and you come to a quick stop and all the water just dumps in.
Yep.
And I heard him yell. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. It's like, oh man.
I'm soaked. And he was soaked.
Yeah.
And I did feel bad. Because I know that's uncomfortable. You know, they're wearing jeans but he got over it. He tried. But I was like, that's part of the fun.
Good thing it was a warm, sunny day.
It was warm all of the days for February.
Yeah.
Like cool in the morning and the evening, definitely. Like it got cold at night, but during the day it was warm. But yeah, there's like a huge chunk of time where I don't have like any pictures. Things just took, a little longer. But we got, thankfully with Genie Plus, like we got the big things done. We did pirates. Gigi does not like pirates. She was so scared, shaking. And I mean, this will change, but right now she wants me.
Yeah.
All the time over you. Like she wants mama all the time. But she was shaking and grabbing my arms and then was like, Daddy, 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 and wanted you.
I know, she never does that.
Sweet though. She just wanted you, and it was really cute. But yeah, she does not like pirates. I felt so bad, which it is. I mean, it's like, look, there's the skull. There's a skeleton. We did separate for a bit in the evening as a group. I think some did like Star Tours. Some wanted to do teacups, but a lot of us couldn't. We're too old now. I can't spin like that anymore. Noah, it was Noah's first time on the teacups. I want to take them, but seriously, I used to be able to do that.
Can't do it.
I can't spin like that anymore.
Yeah.
I used to love that ride, but so Noah went on it and he loved it. I got Georgia a bubble blower and she absolutely bubble. Every time it would turn on, she acted like it was the first time she had ever seen bubbles. It was so great. It was so great. She loved it so much. But yeah, so then we ended with Matterhorn and
where did we? Oh, we ate the Mexican restaurant next to Big Thunder.
Well, we were waiting for our we got a Genie Plus for Big Thunder, which we got it earlier in the day. So this is somewhat new and this is nice. So we got it earlier in the day. We headed there. And as we're outside of it, deciding what groups are going to go, because we had to split up, for the baby, we see the train stop on the track.
Yeah.
And it broke down. And they come out and give them umbrellas because it was hot in the sun. And so we're like, okay, do we want to wait? We waited for a few minutes and then we were like, okay, this could take a while, when there was a Genie Plus selection right then for Splash Mountain, or for in like a half an hour for Splash Mountain.
Something like that, yeah.
So now with your Genie Plus selections, you can modify.
Yeah.
So you can cancel it, or you can just modify and change the time or change the ride. Yep. Correct? So we changed it to Splash Mountain and then we ate lunch and then headed there. But anyway, so then we were like, well, we'll just get it later today. And it worked out because it is so much better at night. It's so good at night. Yeah. So yeah, we ate at the, what is it called? Rancho del... I can never remember.
It starts with a
but
Z.
It's right behind or right next to Big Thunder. We've eaten there before, but not in a long time. It was really good.
It was really good.
Their beans and rice were super good.
They had a lot of heater because all the seating's outside.
And
so they
tons of heaters. It was warm.
Yeah, it was nice and comfortable.
And then we were actually right next to our table. It's like right next to where the train comes in at the end of the ride. You can like wave to the people on the ride.
Yeah.
So then half of our group went. They waved to us as they were done. And then we went. And yeah, it's Big Thunder Mountain at night. Like if you can do that at night, it's better at night. That, Matterhorn, Incredicoaster, like those are so good at night.
Rancho del Zocalo,
Restaurante. It is very good. I got like the trio street tacos.
Yeah.
Comes with a beef, chicken, and cauliflower. They were all good. It was spicy.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. My friend got the like tostada chicken salad, taco salad. It was like in this big taco shell bowl. Looked super good. He said it was really good. Yeah, everyone really liked it. So I would recommend that. He also got the horchata cold brew, and they said that was super good. I didn't try it, but they said it was really good. So then we ended with Matterhorn, and it was Jack's first time on Matterhorn.
Yeah, and Boston.
Boston was unsure.
Yeah.
And we get in and Boston usually, but he was so tired. It was so like tired. 9 o'clock. It was after 9. It was after 9. It was a little after 9 o'clock. Normally we don't stay. Well, if we watch the fireworks, we like watch the fireworks and then leave.
Yeah.
We're not usually riding rides at this time.
Yeah.
And so
we decided not to watch the
light
Wondrous
show
Journey because it wasn't the fireworks, and it's not the same without the fireworks. And so we know we're going to go down for Splash Mountain.
Well,
hopefully
we're hoping. And the group, we were bummed that there weren't fireworks, especially our friend who's never been. Like, we wanted him to see the fireworks, but we're like, if there's not the fireworks, like, let's take this time and ride rides. And everyone was like, we want to ride rides. Like, you get that like excitement and second wind at night because Disneyland is so awesome at night where you just want to like run and do everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're in line, or we're starting to get on in Boston. Is just like, I don't know. He thought he was sitting next to me. So when we line up, I put him in the line next to me. He's like, oh, I want to go with you. And I was like, no, but you're in front of me. I was like, it's like Splash Mountain where we're, in a row. No, I want to go with you. And I was like, oh. So we get in. They don't have you help the younger ones like strap in. They're like, I'll do it. You strap yourself in. I'm like, okay. And he's crying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's okay, but he's like, I don't want to see the Yeti. I don't want to. I'm like, I know, you can close your eyes. So we get up to where they have you check and like pull on the yellow tab.
Yeah.
And the cast member was awesome. She was young, like probably early 20s.
Yeah.
And she's like, why, what's wrong? And he's like, she's like, are you scared? He's like, yeah. And she's like, what are you scared about? And he's like, and so it took us longer.
Yeah.
Because we all checked our tabs and we could have started, but she like took the time to talk to Boston. I don't want that the Yeti. And she's like, oh yeah. She's like, do you know what the Yeti's name is? He's like, no. Or no, first he said yes. She's like, you do? What is it? And he's like, I don't know. And she's like, it's Harold. She's like, isn't that funny? And he was like, yeah. She's like, a scary monster can't be named Harold. And he was like, okay, yeah. And she's like, and you know what? You can just close your eyes and you won't see him. And he's like, okay. And she's like, but you can be brave and have fun. He's like, yeah. And it was just really sweet. It was so sweet. And so
I think I caught her name. It's either Kristen or Kirsten.
Okay.
Kristen or Kirsten.
Well, thank you, Kirsten or Kristen on Matterhorn. You are amazing. You're a wonderful cast member.
Monday, February 6th.
Yes.
If you worked Matterhorn.
And
Monday, February 6th.
And you happen to listen to this super popular podcast. Thank you. You made our evening. And he did good. Like I could hear him start to like get excited, during, and he closed his eyes through part of it. But then he loved it. He loved it.
Yeah.
And wanted to go again. Yeah.
And then was upset that he couldn't go again.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was the first, it was super busy. We got a lot in.
It was pretty slow. I mean, busy.
I'm sorry. Busy for us as far as like we were going. Yeah. The
crowds were in the morning. They weren't bad. Like the first part of the day, the crowds were light. But I think it's just normal at Disneyland that the afternoons start to pick up because that's probably when the locals come and people come for the shows and the fireworks and all that kind of stuff in the evening. And people Disneyland's just better at night anyway, so people wouldn't do that.
But it didn't, and we had Genie Plus. So as far as lines go, we had that, and most of the rides we were doing were Genie Plus. Small World, we waited. We got a lightning lane for Genie for Small World too.
Yeah.
That first day, I think most of the rides we did, except for like Teacups, we didn't do it for Space Mountain in the morning. We didn't do it for Star Tours in the morning because those were super short. We did do Buzz Lightyear later on sometime, and it was like a 10-minute wait. Teacups were like a 10-minute wait. Star Tours in the evening was, I believe, a 10-minute wait. So there were times where if they had a Genie Plus selection, we didn't need to because the line was short, and we didn't want to waste a Genie Plus because you can only use a Genie Plus selection once. So if you can get Space Mountain in the morning at 20 minutes, do it, because then later when it's 60 minutes, you can use a Genie Plus for it.
Don't waste a Genie Plus.
So don't waste a Genie Plus. That would be a big tip for me. If it's like 30 minutes or under, because 30 minutes can go fast, especially if you're with people and just like chatting and having fun. I'd say wait, especially on the big ones like Space Mountain, Splash Mountain, Thunder Mountain, Matterhorn. They're gonna go up. Rise is individual. Smugglers. Like Smugglers fluctuates 15 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
So if you see it and it's like 25 minutes, I would just wait, because later if it's an hour, you can use your Genie Plus. So you can ride it more than once in a day.
Did we ride Space Mountain a second time?
We didn't. We didn't get to it. We never used a Genie Plus for it. We didn't get to it.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, so it was, crowded, but the waits weren't horrible. It was good. I mean, we got to like the main things we wanted to get to. And then so after Matterhorn, it was, we heard the songs for the fireworks show, and I can't give it a full opinion because I didn't watch it and I didn't hear all the songs. But from what I heard, I'm not like super excited. I didn't hear anything that was like iconic.
Yeah.
They were doing like mashups of songs. So it was confusing to me. Like they were playing an instrumental from Lion King, but doing some quotes from, what was it? Something else.
Mulan.
Maybe Mulan. So I was super confused. And if I would have seen the visuals, maybe I wouldn't have been confused.
Yeah.
But I was like, what is this song from? I couldn't figure it out because I heard the quotes and I was like, this isn't matching up. This is weird. Where, I don't know, they're trying to be different, but it's like during the 60th, man, when Let It Go came on, it was just great, and then during the 50th, they played, I think, did they have Indiana Jones? I think, maybe not, but anything, they just had a bunch of them. When Tangled comes on, when Peter Pan, when, it's just like emotional. Where this one, I didn't hear anything that got me like, oh my gosh, I want to watch this. I can't wait to see it. Like I was kind of like, nah. But I can't.
Also,
but again,
we were distracted. We were doing other things. We weren't really.
So I mean, I'm excited to see it when we get a chance to watch it. But yeah. But anyway, so yeah, after that we kind of split up. Some of our group, because we had to take separate cars, wanted to go do a few more rides. Our kids and we were done. We needed to get them back and to bed because it was like after 9:30. It was probably close to 10 at this point.
10, yeah.
And we knew we had to walk back to the tram, get on the tram, get back to the parking garage, walk to our car, drive to the Airbnb. And the next day we were wanting to start early. So that was exhausting.
It was
exhausting.
And I think it was harder to go back than it was to get there, just because the lines were longer.
The lines were longer.
People were wanting to get back too, and so
everyone's tired and grumpy. Like Boston, I think, fell asleep, and so we had to be like, "Come on, buddy, get out!" Because I was carrying Georgia, and it was like, "Okay, get out of the stroller," and he's so tired, and there's not the like excitement of getting in the park. It's like dragging to get back to the Airbnb. So that's it would be hard if we were going with a big group again to discount the value of staying at an Airbnb, but I don't know. I'm not eager to do that again. That part of it, the Airbnb, just.
Well, now that they've done it, I'd be like, okay, guys, you guys figure out your own arrangements. We're going to stay here. We're going to stay.
You're welcome to stay at the same place we are. This is what we're doing. I don't recommend it with young children at all.
Yeah.
At all. It's so much easier to stay in walking distance. Yeah. But it was very fun. Mm-hmm. And that's just the first day, and I think we should wrap it up.
I think we should wrap it up. We're at 50 minutes now.
Yeah. And we tried more food we'll talk about next week. Mm-hmm. And then we had the last day and a half was just the 6 of us. Our group left, and then it was just the 6 of us for some slower times, and we have some stories about that.
Yeah, but, we did California Adventure the next day, where we did watch World of Color 1, and we will give our review on that. It was very good. I wouldn't say maybe not very good, but
World of Color is amazing. The technology of it and the whole thing is just so cool. Mm-hmm. As far as the music and stuff goes, you'll have to listen next week to hear my opinion, which I know everyone is so eager to know. But yeah, fun, exhausting.
I'm just really tired still thinking about it.
I'm so tired.
I mean, we got back yesterday,
last night.
So we're still recovering from the trip.
Yeah. Lots of laundry and zoning because I can't think.
Yeah. Our house is a mess right now. But, so if you're new to us, you like what you hear, we've been getting I've noticed a lot more, listeners. It's about to say viewers. If you're viewing us, I want to know how you're doing that, because that's creepy.
Stop doing it.
But we got a lot of new listeners. If you're new, if you like what you hear, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts,
hit those
Spotify.
5 stars.
Also, if you're not following us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram at dreamy.of.disney.podcast. We appreciate it. Lots of new content coming. Shot a lot of reels.
Shot a lot of reels?
Shot a lot of content for reels. So stay tuned for that.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
Favorite memory from the first day?
Favorite memory from the first day? Trying to think.
So Disneyland, everybody.
It's really hard because I felt really crummy that day.
You got to take people on rides you've been waiting to take them on.
Space Mountain. There's no other way to start a Disney trip than that being the first ride. That's
loud,
your phone.
Sorry. Yeah, no, that's a great way to start.
It was just so fun. We got the front row.
Which back is better.
The back is better. Back is better on a roller coaster. And plus, it doesn't really matter on Space Mountain because it's in the dark. So
yeah, and
if you're in the front, you can't tell. Yeah. No, taking our friend on Space Mountain for the first time, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He got a kick out of that. So
that
was fun.
I think my favorite memory is Georgia with the bubble blower, because it was just so stinking cute. It was just like every time she turned it on, oh, bubbles, oh, bubble. And then we turn it off because I would be like, okay, let's take a break. And then I turn it back on, oh, bubble. Like she never
She found it today in one of the the crates from our stuff, and she's like, bubbles. So it's like, no, we're not turning it on.
We're not turning it on inside. We'll say we got to put it back in the garage, save it for the parks. Yeah. But then by the end of the trip, the battery was dying, so it wasn't blowing out bubbles. It would just make this like big, huge, foamy bubble at the top.
Yeah.
But she was just like so, like every single time it turned on, like she was just like shocked and excited every single time. It was new every time we turned it on. So it was super cute. But yeah, and just being, everyone was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's
a lot
great.
Of fun.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week with our part 2.
Yeah.
And we'll be talking California Adventure and then the rest of our trip. All right. Well, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.